Do some multitasking here because I have to set up the presentations here and to introduce myself maybe a little bit. My name is Jochen Michels. No, pronounced I like it really. It's Michels. Boring, yeah. Michels. You can say Michels. Michels is also. And I'm from Dechema. Dechema is a society, a scientific society in Germany, and we have different fields of work in sustainability, meaning raw materials and biotechnology and chemical techniques and so. And one field is bioeconomy and renewable resources. And and I'm a scientific referent in that area and involved in this project to produce a sand workshop agreement. I'm not talking about this sand workshop agreement, but I was asked to give you a little introduction to biorefineries in the bioeconomy. And so we come up from outer space here. Great. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, we come from outer space. I give you a short introduction into what is bioeconomy today, especially in what is the European Union understanding on bioeconomy. And then I give you a short interpretation of biorefineries. It is mostly the German view. I know there are different views in different countries, but I mostly know the German ones. I have some examples from Germany, and I have a maybe somehow unique classification for biorefineries, but there are many classifications out, and many of them are driven by techniques. And I have one, okay, it's my own, we can discuss that, about how marketable is a biorefinery, but I will show you. Okay, the European way to define bioeconomy. This is from the action plan of the update of the bioeconomy strategy of the European Union, so it's quite new, it's from 2018. And it's the European way to use our natural resources. So in the European Union defines it that it covers all sectors and systems that rely on biological resources. Also organic waste, and this is very important, especially today. It includes land and marine ecosystems. Okay, yeah, and marine ecosystem is getting into awareness more and more. All primary production sectors that use or produce biological resources, agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and aquaculture, and all economic and industrial sectors that use biological resources. And that's the first difference to Germany. Germany would never say to process and produce food, feed, bio-based products, energy, and services. Germany would say it is that use biological resources and products to produce bio-based products, services, energy, and maybe for the future. Yeah, so in Germany, the food producing industry is definitely excluded from bioeconomy, and this is different to many other European countries. We are all agree on the term that bioeconomy needs to have sustainability at its heart. That means on the other side that bioeconomy is not per se sustainable. So if you're not able to produce your feedstock in a sustainable way, the entire economy part is not sustainable. So that's very important. Yeah, and to be circular by definition, circular economy. Personally, I can follow the term circular economy very well, but I have really problems to understand what is a circular bioeconomy. If you're looking at waste, it is a no-brainer, it's fine. But if you're looking at just producing stuff from bio-based feedstocks and cycle it in your economy more and more times, and the more you recycle a certain product in an economy, the source of the feedstock is becoming more and more unavailable because you cycle. And you will see it in every LCA assessment that if you increase the cycles, the influence of a feedstock becomes more and more important. And that's why I don't really like it. And if you look at circular economy as a whole, you have different levels of recycling. Yeah, you can recycle a plastic bottle by using the plastic bottle again. This is one cycle. The second cycle is you can use the bottle and then you break down the bottle to granulate and then you make a new bottle out of it. That's the second cycle. Or you can break it down by pyrolysis process, making monomers again, and then do again some synthesis of polymers. This is the third one. And the fourth one is burn it, and let the plants take up the CO2 again. Don't know if this is really circular. If you go to the bioeconomy side, if you have some bio-based products, food, feed, and you make garbage out of it, and from the garbage some new products, this is really circular, but this is inherent to bioeconomy, so it is circular per se. We can discuss that. Okay. This nice picture is also from this action plan, just meaning if you are in a bioeconomy, take sugar beets, algae, wood residues, and also waste, fish waste and biological waste. Use some kind of biorefinery. Nice picture, anything's green here, yeah? And make any of the common products you know, cosmetics, textiles, car dashboards, bio-waste, plastic, oils, pharmaceuticals, which you plastics, which you would normally generate from fossil sources. Okay, and the new action plan has a three-tiered strategy. So, strengthen and scale up the bio-waste sector. Okay, this means unlocking investment in markets. This priority, I know I don't read it now. It means that in the next 10 years, I think I got the digit of the number of 10 billion euros, which will go into bioeconomy involvement, circular bioeconomy, 10 billion euros. Yeah, so it means there must be subsidies for investments in markets, and you need also deploy local bioeconomies. That's very, very important. I think because the local markets have other roots than global markets. That's very important. Yeah, and as I said before, you need to understand the ecological boundaries, meaning how can you, or how much biomass can you produce in a sustainable way. Yeah? And if you are thinking about how huge our petrochemical market is, not only for fuels but also for materials, billions of gallons of crude oil, and if you want to substitute this by biomass, I think you need another planet or another techniques or whatever. Yeah, so it must be in the future in a sustainable way. And coming back to volatile means using waste. Yeah? So that's behind. But okay, let's look what is a biorefinery. This is an old picture, and you can easily see that as a model. This model is created, it's a scenario, it's a small model, it was made by Fraunhofer in Germany, saying this is a biorefinery because when they produced it, there was a lack. We don't have any biorefinery, so they built this model and it looks really nice. And this definition, German definition, is very complicated. It's from the German government from 2012. So, and it is a long sentence and it's split in certain parts so it's easier to understand. It's characterized by an explicitly integrative, multifunctional overall concept. Wow. Big. That uses biomass as a diverse source. As a diverse source. That means a biorefinery grabs many different sources of raw materials, produce it to some products without any waste. So this is the idea of a refinery. But if you are looking on a petrol-based refinery, this refinery is just using one kind of oil. it's not possible to feed a refinery, petrol refinery, with another source of oil. So in Germany we have maybe a big refinery site in Leuna gets its oil from Russia. No way to take it from Norway. It don't work. So a normal refinery is not really flexible. Yeah? But in Germany, well, a biorefinery has to be flexible. Okay. For a sustainable generation of the spectrum of different intermediates. Yeah? The order: chemicals, materials, bioenergy, fuels. Whilst into the fullest possible use of all raw material components. No waste, at least. Yeah? And yeah, German way of looking at it, co-products, maybe can be food or feed. In general, yeah, I think you can say biorefinery is a facility that is able to treat biomass, to separate biomass in different fractions, to convert these fractions to certain products, yeah, and to refine these products more up to generate more added value. And hopefully you don't produce any waste. So that's, I think this is a better definition than that one. So for the chemical industry, because we are related to it, they have a problem. Yeah? So if you want to make plastics or any other cosmetics, maybe not from fossil sources, but from bio-based sources, you have to know how chemical industry is working, or how the chemical industry is working. And it is working, I call it platform chemicals. Here it is mentioned as building blocks. Yeah? The chemical industry relies on building blocks of C1, C2, C3, C4, and maybe aromatics. Yeah? And the biggest product of the chemical industry, the Lego brick, is ethylene. They produce almost anything from ethylene. Yeah? Next biggest one is propylene. And then butane, this is all for the tires industry, maybe. Gum is used. Yeah? And the aromatics, as you know, we need it in many polymers and other formulations for solvents and so on. You know. Okay, but these compounds, most of them, are not available in bio-based way. So what we have on the bio-based side? Bio-based. Bam. That's not all. Just some. Okay, we have also methane. It's true from the biogas plant, and also from the biogas plant and many other different fermentations. We have carbon dioxide. And imagine carbon dioxide from the biological sources, much more pure than from burning. Carbon dioxide from burning is about 15% in the flue gas, and carbon dioxide from fermentation, maybe of ethanol, is nearly 100%. So it's really pure. If you want to go to use carbon dioxide as a source, on the C2 monomers you have ethanol and you have acetic acid. Yeah? And you need to know what to do out of it. And on the C3 side you have lactic acid and glycerin. Butanol, succinic acid instead of these. And what's common, I have not a sheet on that, but what's common to all of these compounds here and also to lignin is that they're much more functionalized than the bricks, the platform chemicals of the chemical industry. So if you want to get into the same sources, or you want to use the same chemical processes, you need to defunctionalize most of these compounds to get them compatible with the product chains of the chemical industry. Yeah, and today for aromatics, this is lignin. Lignin, maybe as you know, it is a dream, the holy grail of a chemist. Yeah, lignin is a huge three-dimensional polymeric substance, and today no one really knows how to get aromatics out of it. It is full of aromatics, but if you use some chemical treatment to break it, you firstly break the aromatic ring. So that's really important. But I know many groups are working on getting these compounds from lignin. So again, the principle of the chemical family tree based on ethylene. Yeah. So this is, they have ethylene in the chemical industry, and they produce these one and that one, and many more chemicals from it. So if you want to go bio-based, yeah, I would like to have bio-based polyethylene. Today, in these days, this will be done in Brazil. You use ethanol. Ethanol can easily be dehydrated to ethylene, and then you can use this, you can feed this chemical family tree for it. But I think it is, if you are thinking in carbon as a measurement for efficiency, if you turn sugar, C6, to ethanol, you only save 4 of the 6 carbons, because 2 carbons go away as CO2. Yeah? So this way, producing chemists is somehow improper. Yeah? Maybe it is it is an easy example to say, but we just need to convert ethanol to ethylene to have that. If you are going for C3 propylene, the chemical source will be substituted by glycerine or by lactate. Maybe you don't turn lactate today or glycerine to propylene. You find enter points for these chemicals more upstream. It's not in this sheet, yeah. Just to explain. And there was a project 2 years ago. It was called Roadmap for the Chemical Industry to become more bio-based. And in this project, we have identified 500 entry points for bio-based chemicals into chemical family trees. Yeah. So there is, but the big challenge is how to get these entry points or these chemicals, and that's how a biorefinery works. So there is a huge definition of what is a biorefinery made by the International Energy Agency, Task 42, if I remember right, on biorefineries, how a biorefinery works. And this schematic representation is not from them, but it's adopted to the way the International Energy Agency sees the biorefinery. So first of all, you have some feedstock and treat it in some way, do some conditioning afterwards, then you have decomposition and compound separation, and after that you have a minimum one platform, and this platform will be converted and refined to material, energetic, and co-products. And you do anything upstream from the platform is primary refining, and anything downstream is secondary refining. Yeah, so this, and I use this scheme in the next sheets to give you an impression how biorefineries on special feedstocks are working. But what are the feedstocks and what are the processes? So this is just a list of what you can use on feedstock side. Agricultural biomass, as you know. Oil crop starch, sugar, grass, woody biomass. You can use algae for agrobiomass. And then you came to the section of residual waste materials. Agriculture and forestry residues, biogenic residues, and so on. So it is the residue is a big source of bio-based materials, bio-based feedstocks for biorefineries. And the platform you can generate out of it is low molecular carbohydrates, polymeric carbohydrates, lignocellulose compounds, proteins, plant fibers, oil, pyrolysis oil, press juice, biogas. It depends on the process. And many people, yeah, made a relation of a biorefinery is using biotechnology. That's not true. Yeah, a biorefinery can use processes like biotechnology, but most of the processes are physical, mechanical, thermochemical, and chemical processes. Yeah? And then you produce, this is chemicals, materials, and this is from a German roadmap, yeah, so feedstuff and foodstuff, only is cold product. And you have also bioenergy on the other hand. Okay, so now these are the types I would like to introduce you to. The first generation is the kind of are biorefineries which use food-based feedstocks, like sugar cane, wheat, or everything you can grab from the field and eat. So the first generation are sugar biorefineries, starch biorefineries, or vegetable oil biorefineries. So all common to them is that they are evolved in a bottom-up approach. If you're going for second generation, it is mostly a top-down approach. I will introduce you to that more. Examples are lignocellulosic biorefinery or a synthesis gas biorefinery, and a green biorefinery, but I have no example of that one. And the third one is based, so clear if it is bottom-up or top-down. There are many approaches, and they use other bioresources, and this is residues-based biorefinery, and also maybe algae-based biorefinery concept. Algae-based, I have no example here, but it is not common to a normal biorefinery concept, because in common, the algae-based biorefinery includes the production of a biomass. Yeah? This is the difference to any other kind of biorefinery where you buy the feedstock stuff from the farmers. Right? Okay, let's have a look on the first generation. And I will introduce you to this bottom-up approach idea. Okay, first, bottom, you have a sugar factory. Yeah, sugar factory uses sugar beet, extract the sugar, and have some cuttings and molasses for feedstuff. And it produces as a platform sugar beet syrup, refining it by crystallization, and then you have sucrose. This is not a biorefinery. This is a sugar plant. Okay, you can easily make an ethanol plant out of it. Yeah, you use the sugar beet syrup for fermentation, and you generate carbon dioxide. As I said, it is really pure. You can use it, or you process it further the fermentation. This means distillation to the ethanol. You have some fusu oils maybe, and also you have some stillage in which you can also convert to feed. Make some very high value. And if you ask a runner of an bioethanol plant, he said, okay, ethanol on one side, but the most important pillar of our business is the feed side. Yeah. So if you also look on the balance of such a company producing ethanol and feed, it is more feed produced than ethanol in mass. Yeah, and it's rich of protein, and so it's a really good one. And to make a biorefinery out of it, you have to work on the sucrose as well. Yeah, and then you can invert it and separate it, and make maybe some fructose or separate glucose, make some acids out of it by chemical processes, and then we have a real biorefinery. An example for that kind of bottom-up approach is this huge campus, biorefinery campus of Cargill. It's really impressive. It is located in Blair. It's based on corn, and it was in the beginning a starch factory. And they produced as much starch, and they had a huge area, and big companies are now they are using this starch for their processes, this starch. So polylactic nature works is their biggest type of nature works. Lysine fermentation, this is Evonik producing it there. Enzymes, novozymes is there also. Yeah, and they by themselves they produce multi-tool and tool. There's some food additions and also some modified stuff. And that way it becomes a biorefinery bottom up. There are other examples. In France, there's a big site in Champagne where it works somehow similar. And in Canada, you will find some sites where it is. So starch refineries will mostly evolve to real refineries by that way. Yeah, and it only works if you have a business plan from corn to starch. This is the backbone, and then you can add more value to this. Looking at the vegetable oil biorefinery, first of all, you may have a biodiesel plant. So you buy rapeseed oil, transfer certification, you get some diesel, you can sell to pharma industry maybe, and you produce biodiesel. Not a big deal, and not a biorefinery. So you can connect this to an oil mill, and then the feedstock is rapeseed, and you extract the rapeseed oil, get some feed out of it. Yeah? And then you have the same value chain, oil mill. To make a real biorefinery out of it, you have to work with the rapeseed oil by hydrolysis, creating maybe fatty acids. And the glycerol, you can make triacetine out of it, or 1,3-propanediol, and this 1,3-propanediol is one of these building blocks of the chemical industry, which is used for polyurethane. Okay, but the backbone was, in the first instance, this way to biodiesel, and thereafter then you get the feed, and then the other products. One really nice example, it's absolutely my favorite, is this Matricia biorefinery. Have you heard of it? It was a big European project and a flagship project from BBI, named First to Run, and firsttorun.eu. It's really worth to go on their site. And they use as source Fissel. This is Fissel. Yeah? And they are back integrated with the farmers in South they produce these Fissel on fields not suitable for food production, and they created plant oil, and this oil is similar to sunflower oil, and they did some really tricky chemistry to get pelargonic acid and oxalic acid and other saturated fatty acids. Really nice. I don't go into detail, but it's really nice chemistry to see. Yeah, and there's also produced some feedstock. So, and if you are going to the second generation, the top-down approach, you use non-food crops, and the biggest challenge there is you cannot produce any feedstock. And this is why it is a top-down approach, meaning you have to design your entire platform, your entire refinery, your product streams in one step. That means from the business point of view, you have many different products to be accounted in your business plan. You have to design, you have to find a market for any of the products you produce. There's no feedstock. Yeah? And that's the reason why there are such less lignin cellulosic biorefineries today. Yeah? The process is really old. It's almost the same to produce paper, pulp and paper. Yeah, you have some pulping here. In this case, it is a special organosolv pulping. This is the advantage is there's no sulfur used in that process. So you generate cellulose and some hemicelluloses and lignin. You can saccharify cellulose to sugars. Some refining here, and you have a really good glucose fraction. You produce the lignin. You dry the lignin. This lignin is sulfur-free, so you can use it in some material way. Also works. and you have a fraction of hemicelluloses. Yeah, you can solidify it and purify it and have some C5 sugars. What you don't have today is you are not able to make a business case for this. Because from the chemical point of view, the best product is the lignin if you can make chemicals out of it. Today there is no market on lignin. So if you write a business plan, you only can use as base price for lignin the heat value. And if you write the heat value of lignin in the business plan, it's dead. Yeah? So this is top down. We have to create the entire facility. There is an example in Germany where it is not today not really a lignocellulose biorefinery of this type, but it has this selling backbone. So it started as an ethanol producing plant based on straw. And you hide it from pulping, and you have your fractions of cellulose, hemicellulose, and heat. And they solidify anything in one pot, and having some yeasts which are able to not only ferment C6 sugars but also C5 sugars. And then they produce in that way ethanol out of it. They have a lignin and they use it by its heat value, they run the process by it, and they also give a stillage into a biogas facility nearby. So it is in today's view, it is an ethanol plant. Yeah, it can be evolved to a biorefinery, but as you see, if you come from straw, no way to produce feed. So the selling points are here. Yeah, and there's another flagship project of BBI called IgnoFlag. Clariant is involved. This is runner of this plant, and they built a big plant from this concept in Romania in these days, and they try in this project to define more processes for becoming a real biorefinery. Okay, another kind of second generation biorefinery, maybe a synthesis gas biorefinery. Also, there's only a pilot existing, no full scale. This one is in Karlsruhe, also in Germany, based on straw. They made a kind of fast pyrolysis, creating a pyrolysis oil out of it, and combine this with the coke. It's not real. No, it's okay. I call it coke. It's a wrong word, but fine. It's pyrolysis oil and the solid part of this pyrolysis process. And they made a slurry out of it, and this gets into as a feedstock into a high pressure entrain flow gasifier, and they produce synthesis gas out of it. From the synthesis gas, this is the platform. They have a methanol DME synthesis process. You can also make Fischer-Tropsch maybe to produce some fuels. It's another kind. But going methanol DME, you can open for other platform chemicals, but also by fuels. Yeah? So this is a pilot. There's no full-scale plant because it is very hard to write a business plan. So I need to come to the end. So I would like to close the circle to the workshop today. It's third generation, bottom-up and top-down approaches, and residuals-based biorefinery. Yeah, the example here I would like to show you is from biogas to VFA biorefinery. Yeah, and the first step is a biogas plant, any biogas plant, not only going for waste, but they also can use green biomass or whole plant biomass. And you have a process of anaerobic digestion, it's known for phases, hydrolytic, acidogenic, acetogenic, and metabogenic phases. You can generate some digestate out of it, use as fertilizer, and you generate biogas, making some combined heat and power. out of it and get electricity and heat. It's not a biorefinery, it's a biogas plant. So, okay, now you can, another step is you can serve methane out of it. So, in Germany we have 8,700 biogas plants, not on sludge, not on waste. Yeah? And only 200 of them are able to produce methane, and it is spent to the grid. Yeah, so it's another approach. You can do the gas washing, and you can get out the CO2 out of it as another feedstock, and you can generate the methane. Yeah? Now it is fed to the grid, but you can also, if you go for methane, for steam, steam reformation of methane, you can create synthesis gas out of it, and the entire chemistry is open. But this is only in theory. Yeah, and the third step is maybe a biogas biorefinery, going away, and as I said, you use the methane. Fermentation to chemicals is possible, or you ferment them to make fuels. Lancer tanks, maybe the most important. No, they use CO2, so it's wrong, but okay. It's possible. That's one way to do it, and if you close the loop and go to volatile, you go a different approach. A different approach means you cut off this anaerobic digestion after the acetylogenic phase. Yeah? Extract some of the VFA out of it. You still have a metallogenic phase. Philip will tell you. Much more than I can. And you can produce by fermentation, as we do in volatile PHD, SCO, or omega-3 fatty acids. There are many other options. We discussed them yesterday. So you can use the VFA directly as building blocks. You can ferment to PHA, SCO, omega-3 fatty acids. And there are other options which are not in the focus of volatile. This is an example of elongated chains of a VFA. You get C6 or C8 fatty acids, or you can produce microbial protein. So I'm done. 35 minutes, that's my time. Thank you very much for your attention.